Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, degens, Drip, and Foreign for Property. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all Forex Shark related projects. And in today's video, we are paying tribute to a legend, Kenny Rogers, and a quote from him, which actually comes from his song, The Gambler. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. And what that actually deals with is a psychology term, if you will, known as the sunk cost fallacy. Why are we likely to continue with an investment even if it would be rational to give up? So the sunk cost fallacy describes our tendency to follow through on an endeavor if we have already invested time, effort, or money into it, whether or not the current costs outweigh the benefits. This is definitely seen in investing, but even more so throughout other examples that we're going to show here that are not just related to money, but also towards time or resources. So it says we are likely to continue to endeavor if we have already invested in it, whether it be a monetary investment or the effort that we put into the decision. That often means we go against evidence that shows it's no longer the best decision. So understanding the sunk cost fallacy can let you know when to cut your ties or know when to walk away, know when to run. And that is very good information to have, especially when you're talking about a financial instrument. So I'm not telling you what to do in the Drip network or what you should be doing or what the case may be, but only instead trying to get you to understand what the sunk cost fallacy is and how to not fall prey to it, which can be a negative self-fulfilling loop, basically. Just a quick message, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. This helps bring brand awareness to the channel as well as all Forex Shark related projects. Thank you. So in economic terms, sunk costs are costs that are already been incurred and cannot be recovered. In the example, the $50 spent on concert tickets would not be recovered whether or not you attended the ticket. So in this example up here, they said if you spent $50 on a concert ticket, but then all of a sudden couldn't go, people are more likely to try to find a way to go or view that as a loss and a much more negative response than just the $50 because they invested that money into it. And they're going to be upset and try to do whatever they can to try to get to the concert, even though that $50 is already spent. So whether or not you attend to take the event or not doesn't change the outcome. So if therefore should not be a factor in our current decision making, because it's irrational, or to use irrecoverable costs as a rationale for making a present decision. So this means in regards to what we talked about with the Drip network, or investment period, it's irrational to make decisions of the future based on just the decisions you made in the past, because that is sunk cost. That's why they say only use funds you can afford to lose. Now, of course, if we acted rationally on future costs and benefits would be taken into account. So that means if you understand the market, you understand the use case of the project, you think you have done your due diligence, then you can make decisions in the future that say, if this token goes lower, I'll buy back in. If it does this, I'll sell, I'll take profits. If it does this, I'm going to get out, right? But you don't just solely make your decisions based off of the previous investment because you're already invested and you can't get that back. So the sunk cost fallacy occurs because we are not purely rational decision makers and are often influenced by our emotion. When we have previously invested in a choice, we are likely to feel guilty or regretful if we do not follow through on that decision. We end up making decisions based on past costs and instead of present and future costs and benefits, which are the only ones that rationally should make a difference. That's why they say investments, you got to be emotionless and let the data drive your decisions. But unfortunately, most of chart action is based 100% on emotion, the fear and greed index, right? So sunk cost fallacy may in part occur due to loss aversion, which describes the fact that the impact of losses feels much worse to us than the impact of gains, is what I was talking about earlier. We are more likely to avoid losses than seek out gains. So they ask people sometimes in different scenarios of psychology and in studies and say, which would you rather have happen? Get information regarding how not to lose $500 or information on how to make $500. The net outcome is the same, right? Gaining 500 from zero, you get 500, or not losing that 500, you're still at zero. But people look at the loss as something that they it's more impactful. So they would take that route first. So why it's important. As can be seen by various examples discussed in this article, sunk cost fallacy impacts many aspects of our life, as well as bigger decisions that have long-term effects. The sunk cost fallacy means that we are making decisions that are irrational and lead to suboptimal outcomes. The sunk cost fallacy is a vicious cycle because we continue to invest money, time, and effort into endeavors that we have already invested in. The more we invest, the more likely we feel committed to continue the endeavor, and the more resources we are likely to put in to follow through on our decisions. So you just end up in this downward spiral, basically, because you're like, well, I'm already in it, might as well just stick with it. So like in relationships or in a job you hate, or in the example I use with movies, if you pay for a movie ticket and in the first 10 minutes you're like, this is garbage, why waste another hour and a half, but you just stick through it anyway. Or watching a Netflix series that you hate because you started it and just want to see how it finishes. Numerous examples, right? But this is saying remove the emotion from it and make a rational decision based on the future and what the outcome will be from that, and what the benefits would be if you were to free up those resources and put them towards something else. And this ties into what I've been preaching on this channel with the Drip Network, is that I believe that it's not a sunk cost, that the opportunity for it to rebound is here. But what I think is going to happen instead is people are viewing it as a sunk cost, and they're trying to take their profits out. You see these nickel and dime, $24, $20, $15, $65, $14, $2, $8. So they're trying to take that out and maybe take profits, or they're going to run into another project. And what little they're getting here, they're going to go and lose somewhere else. And that's because they're looking at this as not only a sunk cost, but also trying to say, well, what little can I get out of it at this stage, rather than looking at it totally seeing what the objective reality would be, that if you got into it at the top and you believe in the long-term vision of the project, the future would say that it's going to be brighter than it currently is now. Now, the other side of sunk costs would just be saying, well, screw it, I'm in it, I'm going to just ride it all the way down to the bottom and, you know, sink or swim. And I mentioned that on the channel as well. And that would be the true sunk cost fallacy of this if you were to apply this all the way out. And in this investment, I think that could actually be a good thing, because doing nothing at this stage, I think, is better than trying to wreck your position by taking out these very small drip amounts. Or, which I've also told you on this channel, is that if you don't believe in the project or you're skeptical, then the absolute best thing you can do is just compound and hydrate, because at least you're not investing more capital, which would be sunk costs, investing more time and energy. Granted, you got to invest the hydration costs, but you're also not wrecking the position in the event it goes up. So this is for the people that are kind of neutral, following the sunk cost fallacy ideology down to quote unquote the bottom. The sink or swim mentality would just mean that you sit kind of on the sidelines, continue compounding the bag you have, and then see what happens, but you don't add anything to it. So you're not making it worse by adding more time and effort into your position. You can even just let your drip accumulate on the faucet side and not compound at all. So it can just sit there. So that would be, to me, the not financial advice best course of action if you really truly are stuck in the middle and don't know what to do. But for those of us that are bullish on the future, then you have to not make these mistakes of selling and wrecking your position, and instead look at what the future probable outcome would be if these deliverables are there, and what I show you on this channel of what the actual future adoption of crypto will be. So any contract that is immutable and just sits there, like BNB Miner, for example, will have cycles. So there will be another drip cycle as long as the Binance Smart Chain is there, with or without additional utility being built on it. The additional utility is just a cherry on top. Right. So all those things to me lead to the fact that, yeah, I think we should, me personally, just going to stick it out and see what happens. Smash that HBO special on the way out. Help brother out with like, comment, subscribe down below. See you in the next one. Peace. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now